just doesn't seem to go away. I think a lot of it's connected to Wade too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, of
he was
course.
a dog, our last dog that we shared. So thank you.
Yeah, Emily. We're sorry for the loss of your beloved dog and the connection that dog had to Wayne. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I started up the recording, and if you started watching, welcome. This is a very group. This is a very human group of people.
Hmm.
There they are. I'm having a little bit of technology problems, so that's about all I'm going to get for getting everyone on the screen today. Um, Everyone says hi. I'm going to get off of this screen before something goes wrong. So right before we were broadcasting and before we found out about Emily's dog, uh, I was having screen difficulties. I was having a hard time getting my screen to um, not. I have 4 monitors here. Oh, great. Well, it just happened again. 2 of them seem to be shutting themselves off at times that are not what I am asking the screens to do. And I got frustrated, and the group as a whole said very kindly, hey, Brian, Rabbi, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're here for the whole ride, and if 12% of it's not great, we're not going to call you an asshole. Not directly quoting John, but John said something like that. And I understood it, what John was saying, but I didn't understand it. And I couldn't quite get myself to. You ever have that thing where you tell yourself, hey, it's not a big deal, but you can't quite get yourself over it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone was telling me that. And then simultaneous to that, Lori, Religion Outside the Box, best intern ever.
Only intern ever.
Well, that's true. Lori had a misplaced third bullet point and found 2 and couldn't find the third. And then I heard myself saying, Lori, don't worry about it. You're fine. You don't need all 3. 2 is enough. And everyone else was very supportive of Lori as well. And I saw that it's much easier for me to tell someone else, hey, don't worry about it. It's okay, than it is for me to get over it myself.
What I've been saying all along.
We should tell them we planned that whole thing.
We planned that whole thing. No, we didn't. We didn't plan this whole thing. I did plan it as far as wearing this sweatshirt today. I am a mess, yet deeply loved.
Oh.
I am a mess today. I am. I know, because I'm wearing the sweatshirt. I'm a mess today. My beloved had a elective surgery this last week, and I'm a mess. I'm very thankful for the health care that we have, but I'm a mess.
He's okay.
She's fine. She's
Hey.
on the pain scale of 1 to 10. She's saying, "Ooh, it's spicy." And I don't know what number that is. I think that's a good sign when you're measuring your pain on a food scale. It means things aren't so bad. I am a mess. I think I'm going to just start with that today. Folks, hi. My name's Brian.
Hi.
I'm a mess. And I'm deeply loved.
So you're saying you're a lovable mess.
I am a lovable mess. My name is Brian. I am a mess, and yet I am deeply loved.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else want in on that?
Yeah.
Go, Emily, go ahead.
Oh, I am a mess. Yeah, and deeply loved.
I think we should all have some kind of response to that, no? What do we say? We say amen? We say you're right?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah.
You're loved.
You're loved. Yeah.
Um, anyone else willing to admit that they're a mess? Go ahead, Lenny.
I am a big mess, and I am deeply loved.
Does that feel incongruous to you, Lynn? That you can be completely a mess and still loved? Does that make sense?
I think yes, it does, because the people that love me love the whole me, love my mess, and being a mess is just part of me. But there are so many. There's wonderful things. There's humor, and there's on my part accepting of their mess. There's
Right.
and so I don't think it. I think it's definitely possible, and it's a truth.
To be a mess and deeply loved. Somebody
Yeah.
else? Who else wants to? I mean, I feel like this is a. Oh, it feels a
Joe
little
just-
bit. Go ahead. Say it again, Meg.
Joe just put in the chat that she was a mess.
Hi, Joe.
Okay.
You a mess, honey? Yeah. And deeply loved.
Very deeply loved.
Deeply loved.
Joe, I'm assuming you don't want to share aloud, but I don't. No. No. Folks, Joe is a mess.
And she's deeply loved.
Very deeply loved.
She's deeply loved. And here's a terrible thing. Sometimes being deeply loved means you can feel what a mess you really are, and it kind of feels worse to know that you're loved and that you're held and that there's a container for you to be a mess and that there's a container for you to still be deeply loved. It's hard. It's hard to take in. Go ahead, Jack. Jack, you had something to add?
Yeah, I looking back on my on my whole life, I I have to admit it's been a mess. And as far as being deeply loved, I know that's true for me.
Yeah. It's hard. Some days harder to take in than others. Go ahead, Aaron.
You're muted,
Aaron, you're on mute, and we are broadcasting my ceiling right now
Okay.
because
All right.
everything just moved to my phone.
Hello.
I don't know
You hear
why
me
my
now?
phone is running. That I did not ask that. Go ahead, Aaron, while I try to figure out what the heck is happening over here.
Oh, just
There we go.
been a while since it's been a while since I've been on, and I'm a mess with texting. I'm not sure why I don't understand that. I know how to do it. For some reason, it's not working. Text is not working, but I can talk. I just let's say it's okay. In say February, I had COVID, and then I have codicil dementia, which is it's genetic. I think I get from my mother. So I'm kind of a mess just from being who I am. But it's all right. I give myself time, and that's why I'm here to talk and
Yeah,
share.
thank you, Aaron. Aaron, thank you for sharing your mess. Here's this paradoxical thing is that you have to share that you're a mess in order to feel loved. If you were perfect, it's harder to feel loved. I believe, and somebody help me if I'm off here, the theology of the cross, Luther's theology of the cross somewhat fits this. And if I'm quoting Luther correctly, and granted, Luther was a horrible anti-Semite. Well, okay, or he was a wonderful anti-Semite, but he had a great idea. He sucked at not being an anti-Semite. I can say it that way.
Right.
But he had this idea that it is in the places that we are broken that we are loved the most. His idea was that it's in the places that we are broken we are loved the most. Hugh, you've said some corollary.
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 You Americans say corollary.
We say corollary. We don't say anything right now. Corollary.
Corollary.
That's how y'all say it north here.
Corollary.
Corollary. Right. Okay. Hugh, what is your corollary? Corollary.
I think what you're asking me to remember, Brian, is something I shared about people who need the most love are the ones who are hardest to like. And
I think you said that backwards, buddy. I think it's the people who are the hardest to like are the ones who need the most love.
Sorry, yes, that's correct. So if we take that idea and we put it towards ourselves, the things
Wait. Time out. Say the whole idea again, because now we had it backwards and forwards.
Okay, sorry. The idea is the people who are the hardest to like are the ones who need the most love, or who need love the most. And so if we think about directing that towards ourselves, then the parts of ourselves that need love the most are the parts of ourselves which are hardest to like.
Anybody resonate with that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yep.
Hallelujah.
The people who are the hardest to like are the ones who need the most love. And that includes ourselves. Dang. Ruth, thank you for your enthusiastic, I saw Ruth being very, very thumbs up about that.
I think that's very profound.
Which part, Ruth?
The part the people who are hardest to like are the one who need the most love.
Yeah. It's very true. And with ourselves. Okay. Let's take a time out for a moment. Let me look at everybody's faces on the screen. Hi, everybody. Glad to see you. It's been a week. It has been a week, and there's something really grounding about doing this thing. Like I do Friday night, we always do candles, wine, and holly, except when we don't. There's something very grounding about doing something the same every week, and there's something for me that's really grounding of seeing your faces and hosting this service. So thank you for being here. Okay. Lori, hi.
Hi.
You know what time it is, Lori?
It's time for my 3 learnings.
3 things that Lori has learned in the past week. Lori, what have you learned in the past week?
Okay. Number 1 is I took a day of rest and self-care on Thursday at the prompting of John Finley. Thank you, John. And based on the permission that Rabbi gave me to not attend a service on a Saturday, and I had a wonderful day. It was very rejuvenating and much needed.
So we're voting in favor of a Sabbath, of taking some time off.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Good. At least one day a week for at least an hour. I think everyone can handle that.
Well, I was overwrought, so I did 8 hours.
Good for you, Lori.
I didn't move. I didn't go out of the door. It was beautiful.
What's the second thing you learned in the past week, Lori?
I did a service at my church about Martin Luther King and the concept of beloved community. And I really loved and learned that when we work together in community, we're stronger than we are alone. And I see
Amen.
I see that here, how we help each other and love each other through difficult times.
And just witnessing each other.
Yes.
Just the very act of witnessing each other, of hearing another person, validating them, helping them to feel seen. And those of you who are regulars know that that's the very beginning of love, is to see someone for who they are. All right, Lori, I think you're on to number 3.
Yeah, and I found number 3, finally. I was saying that if I can't remember number 3 and I lost it after it was just typed out last night, I'm getting old. But I get teased a lot by my family, and sometimes it gets too much, and I'm triggered. That little nagging voice at the back of my head that says I'm not enough gets very loud, and I think it's my responsibility and my
this is the Rabbi's Saturday service.
my thing to
Lori, can I go ahead? Go ahead.
Oh, it's my responsibility to correct that voice.
So here I got a quote for you that might help.
Okay.
It says this. It's from millennial therapist Sarah Kubrick. Might fuck around and set some boundaries instead of staying quiet and becoming resentful. I don't know. Could be cute.
That's very true. That's very true. And I think we need courage to stand up for ourselves as well as standing up for others. Sometimes we focus too much on, and that's what happened this morning. You and I were both having a problem, and you were kind to me, and I was kind to you, but we weren't kind to ourselves.
We got there.
Yeah, we did.
Anyone want to comment on this quote that we have? This. Well, first of all, before we do that, Lori, I learned this from Derek. Taught me that you're allowed to just say, ouchie.
Ouchie?
When someone says something that's a bit rude, or that we feel like we're being teased a little too much, we can just say, ouchie. That kind of hurt.
Yeah. My son says he shows affection by teasing.
Yeah.
So, but sometimes
it's not working.
Yeah, sometimes it gets to be too much.
I had to say to my father at one point, I didn't have to say to my father at one point, I very bravely said to my father at one point, and I didn't say it with a lot of heat behind it, but I said the following words. I said, Dad, I don't know what kind of fucked up world you're living in, but where I live, kindness is kindness, teasing is teasing. Teasing is not kind. And it took a while. Not for him to stop, but it took a while for me to stop getting hurt.
Yeah. That's what I mean about responsibility. I think I have to stand up for myself.
Yeah.
Whether it be telling the person who's teasing me that it's too much, or just correcting that voice in my head that takes it seriously.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Holly, and then Emily.
What you said about it took a while for you to getting hurt. That kind of resonated with me, and something that happened at work a little while ago. We had someone saying that, these meetings are a waste of time and blah blah blah, to one of the young ladies that was asking for the meeting. And it blew up into kind of a big thing. And I told her, I said, even though she was wrong in the way she said it, what she said was not wrong. It's like, how do we take in what others are saying to us, right? Is also as important as what we say. Like, how do we absorb what someone's telling us? Are we really listening to what they're telling us, or are we just reacting to what they're telling us? So I don't know. That was kind of relevant.
It takes it. Haven't talked for a while about them, but between the thing that they say and our reaction to it, sometimes we can add a little bit more space, and that's hard. That's a real forever learning thing to do. Go ahead, Carol. Thank you, Holly, for sharing.
We have been told by Joseph Campbell that we should follow our bliss. And someone has said, no, follow your heartbreak. That will tell you what you really care about, and it will be a path to real transformation.
To follow our heartbreak.
Whoa.
Well, that's not going to be a popular bumper sticker.
It's not popular, but it can be transformative. Those of us, I mean, look at all that Emily is learning from her loss right now. Look and think about the losses you've had and are going through, and see that they are opening you up to something new and probably transformative.
Yeah, follow our heartbreak. I love that idea. Do you know who said that, Carol? Is that a...
It's a book that's out. That's the title. I am so bad at remembering names. I'll have to go off and...
I will forgive you of not remembering names as so long as you forgive yourself.
Oh, I forgive myself. They've been gone months, years. I've been forgetting names for years.
Good, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone want to add in on where we are right now? Jump in another voice.
You know, you said that. I like that. Kindness is kindness. Teasing is teasing. And I thought another one that goes with it, it's like tickling is tickling. And it's sometimes too much.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Anyone else? I have a few extra stickers to hand out. Anyone else have a learning that happened in the last week that they're proud of? That's they did something, they took, I don't know, perhaps maybe they took up an offer when someone offered to help them and they're not used to asking for help. I think you know who you are if what I'm saying is ringing true. Is there something that happened to you in the last week that you're proud of? That if we were in person, I would gladly rip one of these stickers off and give it to you. Ann Mayer, what have you to say?
Okay, I had it was last weekend. I had to go to a memorial for a friend and another friend. I was just going to take the public transit, and another friend who actually lives out of town said, "Oh, I'll come by and swing by and get you." And at first I was like, well, no, like the highway's closed and the traffic's going to be terrible, and I was just going to take public transit. And then I stopped and said, thank you, that would be really nice. So I accepted it. And then there was actually a second incident later that same day, because during the breakout room, had a really nice chat with you, and he reminded me that sometimes when you think you're saying no to somebody because you don't want to inconvenience them, you're actually denying them the opportunity to help you. So later in the day when I was at the service, and somebody, because I'm kind of in between two surgeries and I have another minor surgery coming up later, and this friend had said, if there's anything I can do for you, just let me know. And I was again going to say no, and I kind of heard Hugh's voice, and I said, well, actually, yeah, I'm having an eye surgery and they won't let me go home by myself. I need somebody to accompany with me. Could you come in the cab with me? And she said, yes, of course.
Ann Mayer, this is pick a sticker. It's for you, but more than the sticker, you get to have that good feeling of knowing that you allowed yourself to be loved.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. And boy, it's weird. It's the thing we want the most is to feel loved, but we push it aside so naturally, so easily. I'm going to suggest we don't do that so much. Go ahead, Ron.
I'd just like to point out that dogs love us more than anything else. And I don't know anybody who doesn't accept and relish the love they get from their dog. And yet, those same people push away the love they get from others. And I think we should be willing to accept love from others, other humans, like we accept the love from our dogs.
I agree with you, Ron. And I have a follow-up question, which is, this seems to be what we do. This is what we as human beings do, is we don't accept the love from others. And so we're gonna do a gratitude thing in a moment. And then I want us to get back to this question. I'm going to give everyone some time to think about it. Is what is the benefit to us of not taking in the love from other people? There must be something that we're scared of. There must be something that we want to hold on to. There must be some reason, or we wouldn't be doing this. So we're going to get to that in a moment. But before we do so, I want us to take a little moment for gratitude. I realize the last few weeks we did not take a moment for gratitude, and I want to take a moment for gratitude. I have two things on my mind for gratitude. One, I want to thank Maria for stalwartly checking, zooming in and taking over the technology. So thank you, Maria, for always being of help. And second, I am so thankful for the medical care that my beloved and I have in our life. It is world class and amazing. And I'm very, very thankful. Who's got a thing they want to say aloud of gratitude? We'll take a few rounds of gratitude from people. What are you thankful for? And if you don't want, here, let's give people this option. Open up your chat window and write something in, if you'd like. Just one thing, and don't hit enter yet. We're all going to hit enter at the same time because it's more fun that way. So type in something that you're grateful for. And if anyone wants to share, is totally moved to share aloud, we can do that as well. Go ahead, Meg.
I am grateful that nowadays you can have sewer pipes lined even if you're in a residential area.
Seems vaguely specific, and I love it.
Sewer pipes lined instead of dug up.
Wonderful. Great. Something else you want to take a moment of gratitude for? All right, let's all hit enter on our gratitude. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Hit enter and let's see what comes up.
I saw first flight and give it there in the field this week.
A little extra gratitude. Good for that. Thank you all for doing that. I got 38 new messages. I don't usually look at all this. All the people I have met, the sound of geese on the move, community that shares my sorrow, grateful for running water. Look at all these beautiful things. Wonderful. Thank you all. Okay. I'm going to share a quote I'm hoping will not toggle my screen off. This is a quote from Lao Tzu. There it is. Being loved gives strength. Loving another gives courage. Being loved gives strength. Loving another gives courage. Can someone give me an example in their life when they were loved and how it gave them strength? Let me just start with show of hands. For how many of you does this make sense? That being loved gives strength? And let's follow up with your other hand. Loving another gives courage? Go ahead, Christina. Lovely to see. Oh, I like that. We have people with both hands up. That's just great. Go ahead, Christina.
Well, I didn't push the button, but
Oh my God, that's so funny because you have automatic hand recognition. It moved up. But go ahead. Anything you'd like to share, Christina?
Well, I'm so happy to see you because I am busy almost every Saturday this time, which is afternoon in Sweden. So I'm very happy to be here, and I thought maybe you would have started to forget me, but I don't think you have forgotten me. I feel welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome, Christina. I was going to tease, and then I thought, no, teasing is teasing, love is love. So let me do this the right way. Christina, I am so glad to see you here. And yes, you were missed when you're not here. And also for everybody, if you can't make it on a Saturday, you're pre-forgiven. Nobody needs to show up to this service. Even I don't need to show up to this service. This is optional. I mean, it'd be much harder for all of you to get into the Zoom room if I didn't open it. But, okay.
Some days are more difficult than others.
Some days are more difficult than others. Hi, Jeff. Jeff, where in the world are you at the moment?
I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we love having an international presence besides just Canada, eh?
Yep. It's raining here, and you know what they call a rainy day in Scotland?
What?
What do they call a rainy
Saturday.
day in Scotland?
Every day. Saturday.
Every day. Well, we're glad to see you. I have a list of questions that I'm going to try to go from. Our topic is love. Here's a question. What's something that someone did for you that made you feel loved? Someone have an example? Something that someone did for you that made you feel loved? Go ahead, Ruth.
My grandson and granddaughter sent me the scan of the expected baby as soon as they found out.
Well, that will make you feel loved.
Wow.
That's wonderful, Ruth. Ray, what do you got?
Accepting me as I am and not trying to change me as they wish I would be.
Makes you feel loved. Yeah.
Holly had her hand up.
Go ahead, Holly.
She might have changed her.
Hi. So when I was a kid, me and my brother were abandoned on a sidewalk in the Bronx. And when Randy and I first got together, he was very curious about that and did a web search and found the articles about me and my brother. I had never seen them. I don't even know how he found them. But it was moving and shocking and jolting to see them, to see us in the paper and our little faces and all the things they said about us. And I was very, very moved by that. And it made me feel very loved that someone would go to that trouble for me and do that for me. No one had ever done anything like that for me before. So.
And you got to experience love. Is somebody doing something for you? Go ahead, Dan. Thank you, Holly, for sharing that touching story.
I write and sell software, and many of my users would write and say, "We love your software," and that would sure make me feel loved.
Yeah. Feeling seen. Feeling seen. Wonderful. Go ahead, Doug.
Hi. I have 3 adult children, and I don't need a whole lot of stuff. So things like Father's Day and birthdays come around, I say, don't give me any stuff. So they've taken up doing things with me. So the last thing we did was, it was delayed, but it was a Father's Day gift we did a couple weeks ago. We went to all four of us to a Led Zeppelin tribute thing. It was a lot of fun, and it's really good to spend time with your kids, no matter how old they are.
I love that. It's quality time. Quality.
Yes.
What does the word beloved mean to you? It's not the word loved. We're adding a BE at the front of it. What does the word beloved mean where the word loved falls a little short? Or where's the difference? What's the difference for feeling beloved and feeling loved? By the way, the questions have been designed to get harder according to Bloom's taxonomy of learning, and we are at part 2. So we did remembering acknowledgement. Anyone else who's a teacher, you know Bloom's taxonomy, so we're following that. The questions are getting harder, so that's not just you. It's designed that way. You always want to start with easy questions like who's ever heard the word love, and that's where you all were raising your hands at the beginning. What's the word beloved mean to you, where the word loved is slightly different?
All-encompassing.
Thank you, Rob. Beloved is all-encompassing. What else is beloved? Go ahead, Carol.
I think what it shows us is that the English love is too small a word. We have many different words for love in Greek, and we make a distinction between love which is erotic and love which is filial and love which is friendship and love which is open to everyone, which is agape.
And what is beloved then? Agape? Open
Yes.
to everyone? Yeah. Go ahead, Holly.
That's sort of where I was going to, Carol. I feel like beloved is different in love in that beloved has more of a sense of being cherished, maybe, than just the more general term of love, which covers a multitude of things.
Thank you, Holly. Bob?
Beloved, forgive.
Beloved forgives. I love that.
Oh.
John?
Sherry has her hand up.
Thank you. And then Sherry.
Why don't we always use beloved on like headstones?
Great
Beloved
question.
mom.
Right? It's beloved
Yeah, mom.
father, beloved uncle, beloved. But we don't say loved uncle, loved father, loved. Do you have an answer for
Right.
that also, Sherry?
No.
Okay.
That's interesting.
That is interesting. So maybe the beloved part has a sense of foreverness. I don't know. Why would we have that on headstones? John and then Ron.
Seems to me there's another word that we've used a lot that is incorporated in beloved, and that's unconditional.
Yeah. Unconditional. Yes.
And to me, that's why beloved is sort of reserved for someone you have a close relationship.
Patty was your beloved.
A spouse, a child,
Yeah.
someone like that. The other people you can love, but it's just different. That's a word that to me brings forth happiness and cinnamon toast and chocolate cake and like that. That's
How would you add in beloved? I understand what you're saying, that beloved, there's a specificity to it. Jane is my beloved. I get that. But I can use the word beloved. I can say beloved friend. John, my beloved friend, what do you have to add? No, that was you, John. I was talking to you, John, my beloved
I'm
friend.
sorry. What do I have to add to?
You had your hand up, so I thought you might have.
No, I gave you unconditional and I didn't put my hand down.
No worries, no worries. Thank you. Ron, my beloved friend, what do you have?
I'm in thinking about it, I'm thinking that perhaps the difference between loved and beloved is more inclusive. There, it, it when somebody is beloved, it means loved by many, not just one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Right, and I think that might go to Sherry and the tombstone. We want to think of the person who is deceased as beloved, that they were by many. Although beloved uncle usually only applies to the children of your siblings. Go ahead, Dan.
This isn't really along the same line, but I actually think it's just one thing is that it's a bit more of a formal word, and that may be a reason it's used on tombstones. I also looked up dictionary.com, and it had greatly loved, dear to the heart.
Yeah. Go ahead, Anne. Thank you, Dan.
I was just going to say, was it like there's a depth and a permanence to it, but when you were talking about the broadness of it, it's almost like that's a characteristic of the person, not just, I love this person, but they are a lovable person. So it's
that it's a quality of the person,
of the
that
person.
they are beloved. It's not.
Yeah.
I think my sweatshirt, should we change my sweatshirt? I am a mess yet deeply loved. Maybe deeply loved is beloved. Go ahead, Nancy Joe.
This was actually my first thought. I find possession, well, beloved to me means one and only. Like today is the anniversary of my husband's death. I'm thinking of the marriage certificate. I am my beloved is mine. I don't know.
Right.
It's just the specialness, like my mother. But it's different than just the word my uncle, my mother. And if you say my beloved minister, let's say an example you gave a few minutes ago, but to many people that is a personal identity of their own. Yeah, this is the minister that is my beloved minister. So anyway, I love being unconditionally loved, and I love being heard, and I love being the one and only, even though that would never stop me from allowing that person to love many, many, many others. But they are loving. You're not be loving every other person. I'm going to stop now. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Nancy Joe. So I'm going to come back to this question, my friends. What is stopping us from feeling beloved? What's stopping us from feeling beloved? Brene Brown says that the people who have a sense of love and belonging, Brene Brown says the people who have a sense of love and belonging believe that they are worthy of love and belonging. All of her research, and that's all she came up with, not all she came up with, it's what she brilliantly came up with, but it's very small, that the people who feel loved feel they are entitled to love. we've been
Say that
layering
again.
this for the last few weeks. In the last few weeks, we talked about, at the end of the day, I'm the only one who can say if it was a good enough day. And at 8:30 in the morning, I'm the only one who can say, well, this is a good enough day. I'm the only one who can judge that. Similarly, I am truly the only one who can believe if I'm the only one who can decide if I am beloved. We got to have our friend James in prison. If he can figure out that he feels beloved, maybe we can figure out how to feel beloved too. What's blocking us? What's keeping us from feeling beloved? Let me ask a slightly different question. It's going to sound very similar, but it's really different. What's stopping you from feeling beloved? What's stopping you at this moment from thinking, golly gosh, Winnikers, I'm loved? And here's a, I'm going to use my title and my position for a moment. A lot of you know that I love you. I'm looking at each of your faces on the screen, so I'm not making eye contact with the camera. But for a lot of you, you know that I love you. And why wouldn't I? And the question is, if I can love you, what's keeping you from feeling loved without me? Go ahead, Lori.
I've said this before, but I think humility holds me back. I feel loved, but if I really encapsulated all the love that I know is out there for me, I feel like I would have a big head. I would be so filled with it that it would make me less humble.
We're afraid we might become braggarts. We might become we might become too big. We might become haughty.
Yeah, it's the 40 split.
Yeah. We don't want to be haughty. There's something gross about haughty.
We're full of ourselves.
Yes, pride comes before fall, is what the Holy Bible says.
Yeah, no. Yes, Emily, but no. We are taught and we have caught that we should not have pride. That
Right.
somehow there's something wrong with us if we... Let's try an example. I wrote a book. I'm really fucking proud of this book.
And you should be.
Yes, you should be.
I made dinner for my kids last night. I'm proud of that. Should I be?
Yes. Why not?
Why am I allowed to be proud of my book and making dinner? And I'm gonna do a few things today. I'm probably gonna be proud of some of them. Why do I get the right to be proud of what I do? Don't you have the same right?
Mm-hmm.
What's keeping you from feeling like you're beloved right now, at this moment? Go ahead, John.
You just made a statement that I find really interesting. You said you're going to do some things today and you're going to be proud of some of them. What does that mean? What's wrong with the rest of them?
That's a great question. I might only remember to be proud of some of them. I'm going to do a lot of things. A lot of them will probably just fly under the radar.
But the accomplishment of doing the things.
Well, let me play back on you for a sec, John. Even if I do shit, and I don't do anything like Lori did yesterday with having a Sabbath. If I do nothing, I can still be proud and feel beloved.
Yeah.
We don't have to do. It's not about doing. And that is one of the answers to why we have a hard time feeling beloved. Is we all learned, and it was not taught to us. It was something that we all caught. That we are loved for our accomplishments. They applauded when we first said the ABCs. They applauded when we went pee-pee in the potty. They applauded when we did a thing. We all learn that we're only as good as our last act. That's not where love comes from. Love comes just for being. Let me try for a moment just to say, you are loved just for being you. Can you take that in, if only for 5 seconds?
You can't be anyone else.
You can't be anyone else.
Because everyone else is taken.
Right.
Emily, sorry. Maria, would you lead us into some prayer time now while we continue to reflect?
Right. These are the people to whom we are sending light and love. Jane, Sheridan H., Ann M., Shirley W., Ken and Joe, Judy and her family, Rich and Meg, Sally and Jim and their son of blessed memory, Cindy M. in spirit, Lorena, David, Yuval, and Becca. If there is another person in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Thank you, Maria. It has been brought to my attention, thank you for the minute, brought to my attention that my book is currently not available on Amazon. That's true.
That's great.
It's not done. It's done, so it keeps coming into, the EPUB is done, the audiobook, anyway, we've been dropping a chapter a week. But chapter 5, I recorded badly somehow. So I have to re-record chapter 5. And then the print edition is gotten... So the book was done. Like all the content's the same. But it's it got relayed out because the footnotes and the endnotes got into a fight. It's getting relayed out. Hopefully this week I should be able to order the official proof and then get that and then have the book be available to everybody. But it's not available yet. Except for a few Canadians who happen to get an advance copy. So congratulations, Canada. Okay. Love. What's holding me back from feeling loved? I think practice. I think practice, a lack of practice of sitting in I am loved. Go ahead, Peter Rogers.
Sorry, that was an accident.
No worries. John Finley, you have your hand up.
What struck me when you were talking about accomplishments is the concept of good boy, good girl, right from an early age. And I put that with the insidious pervasion of Christian thought and theology through the Western world.
Yeah.
You do it so that you're not evil. You do it because you're inherently sinful. You do it because your parents are the first of the higher authorities. And the whole concept is based on that. Rather than on heritage or those kinds of things, it's, here we are, and this is everybody's place, and you're at the bottom of the pole, and on and on.
Yeah. The great answer to the question, what keeps us from feeling beloved, is history. I'm going to feel like a religious evangelist, but permit me for a moment. Feel loved. You're allowed. I'm going to stop the recording in a moment. Usually I show the screen of everybody to everyone. Hold on, let me see if I can get that to work. I might crash the system. That's good enough for me. We're going to take this view. Wave goodbye to the people on Facebook. Goodbye, people on Facebook. Join us next.